Week 8, day 1. It's amazing to me. My wife spends all this time trying to get a camera set up to where I look good. And I keep trying to tell her that ain't going to be possible. You're not going to ever get it that way. This week we're going to discuss, this is the first day, but we're going to discuss self-image, self-portrait, and self-respect. Now, those are, the self-image and the self-portrait are two things, and those are nouns. Self-respect is a verb, okay? Self-image, the definition, one self-image is the portrait a person has of himself. Now, I call it a self-portrait. Everyone uses this term so often, self-image, self-image. You heard his self-image. By not putting him on the starting team, you chewed him out. That really hurt his self-image. Self-portrait is a more accurate description because from the time you're 2 years old, all the neurons in your brain are formed. And from that day forward, everything that is said to you, everything that is said about you, puts another stroke on that portrait that you have of yourself. How he can't hardly walk. He's such an uncoordinated. He's so clumsy. He can't chew bubble gum and walk in a straight line. He's not good at math. Everything that's said, there's another portrait put in there. Now, how important is that portrait? Listen to this. This is page 51, www.developingcharacter.org, the character curriculum, page 51. You cannot perform in a manner inconsistent with the way you see yourself. I'm sorry? You cannot perform. What is it that we all want to do? It doesn't matter if we're in a classroom, if we're in this class, or if we're on an athletic field or arena. What do we all want to do? We all want to perform. It doesn't matter if we're at a dance or if we're trying to talk to someone or if we're socially trying to be a part of something. Everybody is trying to perform. Well, here's the key. You cannot perform in a manner that's inconsistent with the way you see yourself. Right back here, you've got this little portrait. And this little portrait has been painted until today by other people. Beginning today, that self-image, that self-portrait is going to be painted by you. You're going to take charge of your self-image, your self-portrait. Now, I told you that self-respect is the verb. You've got self-portrait, self-image, and self-respect. Now, these are all the same quality that we're dealing with. But self-respect is a verb. The number one thing that everybody wants, and this is a survey done by the American people, the number one thing that people say they want, and I agree with this, of all the players that I've ever coached, this is the number one thing that they all say they wanted respect. Now, if you ask someone, how do you get respect? The canned answer is you give it. You don't get any respect because you give respect. Courtesy, maybe. You give courtesy, you get courtesy. Respect is gained by one way. Write this down. The only way you gain respect is when you go through a difficult time or adversity and you come out with your head held high. Let me say that again. The only way you gain respect is when you go through a difficult time or you go through adversity and you come out with your head held high. What's that got to do with goals? You want to gain self-respect? Well, you've got 3 goals to write today. You write those 3 goals, and with those 3 goals, you write them exactly as if they had already been done. With those 3 goals, you write a plan. I am going to eat healthy this week. In other words, I'm not going to drink sodas. I'm not going to eat potato chips. I'm not going to eat processed food. I'm going to eat things that are healthy for me. And these are the things that are healthy. And I'm going to look them up on my phone or on my computer, and I'm going to find out the things, and I'm going to write them down. What's the number one thing you gain by writing those 3 goals down and writing a plan down with them? Self-respect. You want to gain self-respect. You want to improve your self-image. You want to improve your self-portrait. You want to gain more self-respect, because remember this, you're going to perform in a manner that's consistent with the way you see yourself. So if you see yourself as a winner, how are you going to perform? They always said, and Zig Ziglar used to say it all the time, people have more trouble losing weight because they never see themselves with the weight loss. When Zig lost all the weight that he lost, the first thing he did, and he didn't recommend this, he took an ad in a magazine of a guy in jockey shorts, and he cut it out, and he put his picture in place of that model. And he put that in his bathroom mirror. So every day he saw himself with that body. What did he change? He changed his self-image. See, what happens is all these people, they lose all this weight and they gain it all back. Because what they didn't do was they didn't change the way they saw themselves. They may have lost 40 pounds and they still see themselves as fat. Well, they're going to gain the weight back because they need to be true to that self-portrait. You cannot perform in a manner inconsistent with the way you see yourself. You want to gain self-respect. You want to have respect for yourself. And it doesn't come all at one time. It doesn't come down like a thunderstorm. It comes one drop at a time. Self-respect. Come out with your head held high after going through an adverse situation. Write down these 3 goals this week. Write down the plan to do them with, and then do them. And I promise you, Friday, you'll have a better self-image of you, and you will have gained self-respect. See you tomorrow.